Hello, here Leilani Torres. I will be talking to you today about the 13 and 15 figures, which they're called youth. So if you hear youth figures or 13, 15 is the same thing, okay? So let's begin by me sharing with you the new figures. Okay, so some of them are not really new. Some of them have been used in the past because I have done them. So for example, the Flamingo Benny, I remember doing it in the past. It's just with the twist spin now, right? So we need to pay attention to how it's going to be selected for each competition. If you see here, there's section A, section B, section C. Each section has two groups, right? And I'm not gonna say my understanding of this because I actually have a little bit of a doubt, but notice how each group has the same degree of difficulty in their groups, right? My understanding is that they divide the full athletes, 200 athletes, in halves, and each half does a different group, right? But do not worry about being fair or unfair because the degree of difficulty is exactly the same, okay? So let's pay attention after October 3rd on those details on how that is going to be, okay? So no more talking about that, and let's go straight to the first figure in section A, group 1, Flamingo Benny. So a ballet leg is assumed. When it's assumed, it goes through a Benny position, right? Then let me see if I can put this a little bit bigger for you. Here we go. Then the chin of the horizontal leg, right, is drawn along the surface of the water to assume a surface flamingo position. So it's from here to here, right? With the ballet leg maintain its vertical position. So it's talking about this ballet leg, this leg, maintaining vertical position. The hips are lifted as the trunk unrolls while the bent leg goes to a bent knee vertical position, which is this part. A lot of, I would have explained it in a different way, but it's really nice explained there. The hip is lifted and trunk unrolls. I would, yes, think about that pelvic tilt to help you get your body right underneath your legs, okay? So different ways of expression. Then the bent knee is extended to a vertical position. So then you do a vertical joint, how we call it normally. So we extend the leg into a vertical position. And then it's a twist and spin is executed. So then my understanding of this is that there's a twist. So then from here you see that the little girl, the figure or the silhouette is facing this wall. Then it turns, right? And then there's two spin downs executed, spin executed down, okay? Which of course we need to look into the details of how this is going to end because we want to make sure that the way that I just kind of said it is the way that it's going to be done. Okay, so I'm not saying that it's gonna stay like this. So we need to pay attention to that detail. For today, I'm not gonna go into details on the technical details that are talked around here. I will talk more about the roll and I will talk a little bit about the spins, okay? And I'll give you some pointers there. And then in this part, always pay attention to these numbers, to the numerical value, because that is the ones that are really going to affect the total of your score, right? And usually the judges do pay attention to the quality and execution of these parts, okay? So let me show you the figure. So from a layout position, the video starts already, her starting. So you do a bend knee, you extend to a ballet leg. The ballet leg, the vertical leg stays in vertical from there on. Chin stays over the surface, hip unrolls, stretch. Now do a vertical join, do a twist, hold it, maybe pause it a little bit. I'm not sure about the pause. I'm gonna do this again. So do the join, stretch through, at least show a bit the vertical, show half twist and the twist and then the spin. Okay. So you see I'm saying twist and half twist. I'm actually confused in that specific part because it says twist and it doesn't say half twist, and in the figure, in the images, shows a half twist. So forget about that detail. Let's focus on the skills that you need to start training until the figures come out, okay? So for example, my suggestion here is that you start working on foot first, like really heavy foot first, so that you don't move head first, right? And second, so that you can grab water from the surface of the water. So for example, in this part, row, 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 you see? Here, I would try not to push down, but to keep the pressure close to the surface of the water grab, keep my elbows bent. So do a lot more with my hip roll to keep the buns on the surface of the water. And then on the transition, search for the surface of the water too, right? You see, right there. I don't know if you can notice, but in this example, you see her body needs to roll a bit faster so that when she does the hand grab, everything arrives at the same time. That's one thing that judges might be looking for. And second thing, it will help you with the stability of the transition if you handle your body a bit faster than your support, so that once the support is there, it's grabbing for height, right? Here. And then there. Grabbing right underneath the surface of the leg. So one suggestion that I will make for that transition in the flamingo roll is to do it on its own. Learn how to do it with jugs, for example. Put jugs on the sides of the hip. And you can even put weights on that. Let's go back to this image. Put weights on the ankle. Grab jugs on the sides and do that hip rotation, right? And learn how to push the weight of the leg through the hip. And I would suggest also to let go at the end of the roll, let go of the jugs and start sculling in support skull. That can help activate that conscious of activating the support skull when after doing the hip rotation, okay? So that's an okay suggestion here. Then for the spins, careful also to not push too behind the grab of the water. You see she's doing already the change of sculling and her head is forward. Let me see if my video shows you a bit. There. You see her head is still forward and she's doing that. So then that brings a little bit of stability and her hands are facing forward. So that's why she kind of tilts a little bit back. So you really want to make sure that everything sets in line as fast as possible. It's not like I'm saying that you should do like a barracuda roll, right? It's not that fast, but it's gonna help. Okay, let's keep going for the spins. So for stability here, just grab water from the surface. Try to not leave anything behind on the spin, on the twist. And then for the spin, I would definitely suggest to stretch through the vertical up. Even try, I already talked about this in 12 and under for inverted positions that I had seen Andrea Fuentes do this exercise with pool boys over the head. And I have applied that concept in spins, in night positions, in arch positions, anything that is inverted and you need to keep aligned. So I will definitely suggest to try the spins with the pool boy on the head for stability, for line, and especially at the beginning for the little lift that it helps you have. So also, if you have at any chance, if you have problems maintaining height, try to always spin up, right? Try to always stretch towards the toes as much as possible. And the grab of the water also almost going up. That is gonna really help you maintain the height and get used to the weight of the water in your hands. When you spin, do make sure that you keep your hands close to your body. If you bring them out, like there's no weight holding there, your body is right in your center. So do make sure that you push it through. One way of training your spins is working on your totem skulls, right? Some, they call it totem, they call it torpedo, or yeah, but it's inverted, right? And you can do it, of course, you can do laps of it, but here are just some tips on how you can feel how to put pressure towards your toes in the vertical position. So you really need to make sure that you're trying the torpedo, that you're turning in torpedo, totem torpedo, you know. And yes, those are some tips. This was Leilani Torres for you, your coach from within. I hope you liked this video. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Take care.